Right, baby, you can do this, huh? Rani, TK, Rani, TK. Right. By voting on March 26, we are building a strong foundation. It is important that we put aside our differences of backstabbers who expelled us from the... We put aside our differences and come together to join hands and vote Mswa 26 March for vote Mswa 26 vote. Can't do this. I cannot. Should have been me, man. Should have been me. Hello. It's well underway. That when you're a press release in Chato Tower, my man. Yes, I was Pamberi, sure. And I wonder about the vote for CCC. I was 2028 to be confunded. It's fine. Okay.
To another episode of The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. And it's been a campaigning week. The ZRP banned more CCC rallies, Robert Mugabe Junior joined the Zanu PF campaign trail, and Trevor Ncube announced that him and Ed are no longer friends. Shem. But first, Zimbabwe's favorite political chameleon and MDCT president, Zanu Khupe, is at it again. No, she didn't go this time to Edie's farm, and no, she hasn't rejoined the MDC alliance. And okay, well, she hasn't launched a new campaign with her party, the MDCT. No, this time, Toko has turned yellow and introduced herself as Nelson Chamisa's newest BFF.
So let us all of us rally behind President Nelson Chamisa as we prepare for 2023 election, as it is going to be a defining moment for every citizen in this country. I thank you.
Yes, comrades, you heard it right. Khupe said it's time to put the past behind us, as she announced herself as a member of the Citizens Coalition for Change, a party that was born from the grave of the MDC, whose death she was partly responsible for. I mean, one of the main reasons that we're going to by-elections is because Toko and her ex-homie Dagi booted out elected MDC MPs from Parliament. This brought about the need for 1, by-elections to fill the vacancies, and 2, for the creation of a new party to distance itself from the chaos in the old party. And she's now calling for people to vote against her former top shatters, Dagi and Zanu PF. I mean, your politicians ain't shit. I mean, Toko literally wants to have her cake and eat it, and then go and demand the neighbor's cake because that was actually also hers in the first place. Y'all ain't shit. It was indeed a week of Damascene moments as Edie's former advisor, Trevor Ncube, announced his divorce from the junta. The government. Ncube admitted, "We thought Robert Mugabe was bad, but President Mnangagwa has shown an amazing degree of doing things worse than Robert Mugabe ever did." Why are you only seeing the light now, comrade? Interestingly, Trevor's announcement comes after his Alpha Media Holdings company has been struggling to repay a $2 million debt to the New York-based Media Development Investment Fund. Ncube had been begging for chipans from the government, but Edie turned him down. Maybe that's why Trevor isn't besties with the press anymore. Maybe, the regime is continuing its campaign against civic organizations. Edie made worrying statements at rallies over the past week, saying that NGOs that defy the government's policies will be chased out of the country.
Kunema NGO arimuno kana vari pano ma-NGO vurai nzeve ndakutaura NGO imwe neimwe yakapiwa basa rokuita mandate kana yatanga kuita zvinhu zvisiri pamandate yayo yakuita politics tinoti sumuka tinzane Zanu PF ine hurumende kweonei tinoti buda munyika medu iwo haukwanisi kuti Zanu PF buda munyika nekuti hauna simba iroro dzakada kwakabva
toenda kupi mudhara back to where avondo to our mother's wombs. This is the worrying thing about the Hurumen's proposed PVO bill. They want to use it to shut down organizations who speak truth to power. So we must resist it.
Inishona nondinetsaka.
Watanga manje. Watanga. Chikuluma.
Totini.
Chikuluma.
Nkhulume.
Akhuluma ka.
Uthe ngikhulume vele?
Akhuluma.
Ukuthi phazangizwa?
Banokunzwa mashina.
Amashona. Bazalwane linjani? Aw, thina ukuthi sithabe njani ukuba lani. Vanhu vebaswiko, bezara, bejeve, vanomama, pese. Limamile, levele, imami yosisi twa amutwa.
How many rallies can you ban? Well, if you're Zanu PF, as many as you want. The ZRP have banned 2 more CCC campaign rallies this week, this time in Ep14 and Trevor. That makes it 5 rallies that have been banned now. Yay! Progress moving forward, numerically and tactically. The ZRP gave CCC the classic excuse: we have no adequate manpower to cover the meeting. AKA, sorry, maybe try safeguard or Gadalet. Meanwhile, MDC alliance candidates are withdrawing from the race one by one. Or, to use Dagi Monzora's terminology, they are self-recalling. I mean, after rallies with 62,000 people, I don't know what they're worried about. Also this week, ZEC announced that polling agents cannot carry phones, torches, or even a pen and paper into polling stations on the day of elections. Rigging. Well, they didn't ban crayons, comrades, so we can color in all the rigging gaps they are leaving. You can take pencils in too. And calculators. Also, just days before the vote, CCC candidate Tendai Biti has said that he has not received a final copy of the voters' roll that is to be used on Saturday. But ZEC says all candidates have been given a copy of the roll. I think they mean all candidates who belong to a party that doesn't begin with a C. Serious irregularities in the voters' roll have been found by the activist group Team Bacheli. It says that it's discovered that the names of 165,000 people have been moved to different wards and constituencies without notification, which is obvious voter suppression. Dear ZEC, unless you're going to use all of Zanu's Zuko buses to bus voters to where they're actually supposed to vote, I think you should just resign. Do the right thing. Go and farm Pumvudza.
Thank you so much, Comrade Fatso, and welcome to the Weather Report with me, Chinaye. Let's take a look at what's been happening in and around the country. On Monday, we saw the president launching his bore drilling scheme in Chitungwiza. I mean, we had talked about this last week. We predicted about this last week. So obviously, we're not going to dwell much on that one because I just Roland, aka Boskeda, the guy who's responsible for writing this show. But bores in urban areas in 2022, it only makes sense, right? Coming from these guys, it makes sense. Guys, even if you want to put dust roads, we are fine. Spaghetti roads for who? It's my dust roads. Those are just right? But what else has been happening in the country, comrade? While the temperatures have been hot for everyone, the same cannot be said for Passion Java, who was seen wearing a bomber jacket at the same rally in Chitungwiza. Kurukupisa on this day, Bangwan wakati fake up my vest, but look at him, he's wearing a bomber jacket. Maybe he's going through some mujolo issues, some small issues we don't know. Some analysts are even saying, Ndara wangu asina, Passion Java wangu asina kugeza on this day. Let's take a look at this, take a closer look at this picture. I am a boy munu yana kama msoro. maghetto youth akubvunza kuti uyu munhu imillionaire here wemashuwa, you know. And to prove that Passion Java has a lot going on in his life, he was also seen having an ice cream. At the same event, ice cream, rallies Zanu PF. Maybe he hasn't gotten the memo, but rallies Zanu PF, apachikiwe ice cream comrade. I don't want to say why, I don't want to get into detail, because don't want to zorove someone on your show. But usaji ice cream pa Zanu PF rally Passion. Don't do it. We still want you on social media. Maghetto youths atina zvekuita, right? But what else has been happening, Comrade Fatso? Robert Junior also appeared at that same event where he said he was happy to be restoring his father's legacy. Our team are still yet to find which legacy he was referring to, but nonetheless, we were happy to see him. From myself and the Meteorological Department team here at Magamba TV, we are saying to young people, register to vote, kana mchida kuti kunaye. Back to you, Comrade Fatso, in the studio.
The week of the by-elections is upon us, and so here's why you need to vote. There are 28 parliamentary seats and over 100 council seats up for grabs nationwide. After Dougie recalled opposition MPs, we have a parliament that is literally rubber stamping whatever Zanu PF wants. So we need MPs in there who will hold the Hurment to account. Yes, Zanu PF will still have a majority in parliament after these by-elections, but that won't stop opposition MPs from exposing corruption and demanding answers. For example, thanks to the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee that was led by Tendai Biti, we saw the exposure of corruption in the Command Agriculture Programme and the investigation of Zinara. Another example was opposition MP Prince Sibanda, who was leading the Information Committee that was calling for the dodgy cyber bill to either be thrown away or revised. So get out there this Saturday, the 26th of March, and vote for someone who you believe will represent the interests of the citizens. Thanks for joining us on the week. Follow Magamba TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso, you have been the people. This has been the week. Thank you. Go and vote. And foot sack!
Your Excellency and First Secretary of Zanu PF, ndakazvimirira uyezve ndakamirira Harare Metropolitan Province. Tinokuchingamidzai kuSt Mary's constituency Chitungwiza. Chitungwiza iri kuti mauya kushungo. Kushungo.